Okay, yeah, I'm just going to continue on this analysis, reading price. So we go on the 4 hour. We have this gap here on the 4 hour. This is a structural gap. So I call it an S for structural. PD array, candles PD arrays, I would say is a C PD array. So I call it like a C order blocks or S busy or whatever, right? So this is the 4 hour. Okay. So I wouldn't be shorting just yet, although I'm still looking for a short. I'm not looking for a long. So we have the SIBI here, and we have a BISI here. The thing is, this BISI is, I'm not looking for a short here yet because we have this. This is structural reclaimed order block, right? Sometimes I call it a breaker, but I guess you would call it a reclaimed order block. And it looks quite nice. So this kind of thing, if you're long and you got a very good areas of higher time frame target liquidity, then that's a nice structure to try and look for a long or confirmation in here to potentially go higher. But we're not doing that. We are not doing that and trying to be cheeky, right? We came into premium. We're trying to follow how this machine is working, and it's going to do the manipulation. We're not trying to do too many things, right? Because we can't. It's confusing. We can't do that. So let's see. Okay. All right, it's fast. This would be my confirmation. This order block here, because of this up candle, I may get in here to go up, but I'm not looking for a long. Just if I was, I'm waiting for the short. Where's the short? On the short, because of this higher time frame, 3 month target based on this 3 month order block here. It doesn't look like anything, right, on this time frame, but it is, and that's what you want to be waiting for, regardless of the time frame you're on. Okay, preferably I like more than just the external range liquidity, like discount, etc., equal lows. But just for example's sake, let's say that's the main target, and I have a good drawn liquidity there, and I want to target that. I don't want to try to force like some long, small bites here and there. Okay, and you just gotta wait. So regardless of the time frame you're on, you just gotta wait. Okay, so we created a BC here. So fast. Okay, I'm a bit biased now, but I wanted to see if this would be an inversion gap. I think it's not, because we came up here, and I want to see if we kind of close up here or not. So we close down here. This is a candle inversion gap. I do like inversion gaps, especially on Euro. They're one of my favorite, especially on the daily or weekly. And it works on the 2 week, 3 week, whatever. Unfortunately, I am biased now, but this is what I'd be looking for. So when price comes into here, I want to get in on a trade and go to wherever my target is. It's down here, and that just makes it look a little bit um, too impressive. Getting in on such a getting in like that. Um, even the high of the PD array, but I don't be too silly. Even targeting that's already 7R, which is a lot on Bitcoin. That's a 14% move, a decent move. Um, let's see what this looks like on a lower time frame. So lower time frame, I'm not just looking for a refined entry But I'm also looking what does the structure look like, and does it look viable? So what do we have here? A structural. I'm going to put this purple for inversion gap, and this is a CB red structural CB candle inversion gap. Okay, it may seem a little bit confusing right now if it's the first time you're looking at it like this, but I mean, I don't know anything that is more reliable than this in how the market kind of moves, just based on even just based off the candles, not even looking at aspects of time. But on Bitcoin, yeah, um, not too relevant the time aspect compared to like forex or indices. It's a 24-hour market as well on Binance crypto markets. Sure, we have this 1 hour refined, and we came into this inversion gap on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, I could be looking. I don't go too low of a time frame to look for candle PD array because I may be on a time frame too low where it's actually creating all the structure and may have some market maker model sort of manipulation happen. But let's go on the 30 minute, from 4 hour to 30 minute, not too bad. Let's just wait for a candle PD array to form. You can see a more refined CB here. I also have I call it R2F gap, not to be full of myself, but I like this kind of setup where there's a gap and there's a wick to the left of it. Those are very strong gaps for either candle gaps or structural gaps. They both give a pretty good bounce in price. If you ever see those, you can test it out yourself. They're very good, especially if they're quite clean like this and it's one candle to the left. Okay, let's see what kind of PD array we get. Okay, wait, no! So I don't know why this prints the entire two candles, but and again, inversion gap. Okay, this on 30 minute. Remember this. Remember this was on this purple one was on the 4 hour. Now we have a 30 minute. So what does that do? It allows us to tighten out our stop loss. So let's say this is the entry time frame. Being very I wouldn't say greedy, but a bit more risky. Safest is at the high, but for the high of the PD array. In this case, let's say you put your stop here if you want to tighten RR, and maybe it works out, in the long run. But again, it all depends on a certain amount of rules that one to follow. If you have a tighter stop loss, maybe you get stopped out more of sometimes compared to putting it at the swing high, which can also stop you out sometimes if there's a manipulation that goes above and beyond what's normally anticipated. This happens especially more during high impact news events. But as long as the bodies are respecting, that's really good. And that's what you look for. So let's say this is my final entry, starting from this idea of ignoring all these things that have been happening. And of course, you can refer back to this is an R2F gap here as well. Let's just see what happens there. And targeting, what's the main target? Down here, right? So suddenly you're on 17, 18R, which is a lot. If you're risking 1%, you're making 18%. But that's how I refine it. I try not to do this too low of a time frame because then you get lost in translation. And it's like the movie Inception where you just keep going down in a dream and a dream and a dream, and you just it's hard to keep track and of all the different time frames that are refreshing. So if you do this on too low of a time frame, you gotta be quicker in in um in reacting and analyzing. You got to keep switching the time frames. What time frame this what gap formed, etc. So okay, we come. Yeah, so we trade into the gap. Great, perfect. We're down here. At this point, I'd be happy over here. I'd be happy trailing my stop to break even because it's such a move down. Highly unlikely we trade all the way back up here. Okay, at the very least, at the high of this PD array, which is up there. So what I may also do is add more to the position if I trail my stop, and my risk is the same, but I'm more in a position. So I may pyramid in myself, but this just depends on how you like to trade. On the lower time frames, yeah, that's not advised because you're just managing too many things. And you don't have to wait long for your full position. Okay, R2F gap. Okay, it looks very heavy down here. Okay, we trade into this structure. I'll pop on a fib. If we start to create some structure, I just pop on a fib. We traded into this structural gap once, and now we're here. We took out that high. Okay, now we're in equilibrium and at this breaker here. All right, so in this case, it did come back all the way up. And if I had my stop loss here, it would have stopped me now at break even. If it's here, then that would have been stopped out as well, right? If I left it, let's see if we do get stopped out. If I left it, it wouldn't have gotten stopped out. Maybe scared you out, but it moved from there. Let's see if there's anything to be. This is why R2F gaps are quite strong for a bounce. Let's go back to the 4 hour, have a look. All right. I'm going to go through the time frames. I don't think there's anything there. Any gap limit? Let's just see. Okay. Yeah, so it's just price going above and beyond what it normally does. As you see on the 4 hour, this gap was used, and coming back to here is just price going the bit extra mile. And now we have on the 4 hour, we have this over here, 4 hour candle order block. So what should happen is it should definitely not break this high, but one could try and look for a trade and then to take out that low. Going back to the 30-minute. Yeah, so this was in anticipation of this big move. One more manipulation up, right? People going bullish, and then big drop down. Let's see if we get to that target. Okay, and that would be the terminus. Trade done, trade idea done. That's it. Wait for the next one. Not look at price and guess. Oh, it looks like, try and look for something. Set it up. I would set it up in having a bias, as in the drawn liquidity. For example, target narrative is how is it going to get there? This is done usually on a lower time frame. Come back to an imbalance, take out this equal highs first, yada yada yada, and then entry, usually a little bit lower time frame, maybe even same time frame, where I look for this candle PD arrays to be respected, created, disrespected. Let's see what this looks like on the 4 hour. Okay, it's still respecting this one. We came up and then closed down. I bet it looks nicer on a different time frame, like there would be an order block somewhere here. Okay, it looks weird on the 5 hour. On the 6 hour, we have a nice one here. It's a propulsion candle propulsion block. Propulsion block is just an order block that trades into an order block, and then we get that. Just takes out the body a little bit, and then Finally goes for this low, then trade it into this gap, and finally hit that target, which was all based on 2-month time frame, monthly. Yeah, this monthly, sorry, 1 month candle breaker. So from here, trade it into it. I mean, look at that. Almost right to the middle of that one, and then came out for this low. Yeah, so you can see that happen a lot. This one here, okay, an order block. But why would I not take this to go short? Because we came into a structural higher time frame candle, PD array. And overall, we're still in this gap, respecting this gap. I do not want to be looking for a short to go lower when we're consolidating inside a discount array with structure to the left of it. That's the time to be careful. Let's see how this goes. Oh, okay. So we close like that. If this next candle closes below this one, I would take a short. Let me see if I can get an example. No, it does not. Just okay, equal highs, right? Very nice. Equal highs created. We're on the weekly. We got this gap on the weekly, 4-day, 3-day, 2-day. So weekly gap down here, but we have this daily nice gap down here with this structure here to the left that's touching. So I want to wait for maybe so we came into a 12-hour, 4-hour, being cheeky in here. Equal lows down here. Okay, if we can get a break above, that would be maybe ideal. We them out one more time. Structural. I want to see if this becomes an inversion gap, right? Because we did all this aiming for a buy side. Generally, this is we got this candle out. This is usually the type of trades I like to take. Got this candle order block, trade into a structural CB at a premium. That's usually what I like. This one's a bit close, but those are usually the trades I like. Maybe if I can get a retracement before here, then yeah. 4-hour. Okay. 4-hour bearish order block, but I'm not so comfortable, right? Because we came into this higher time frame. Was it a weekly or something? I'm not looking for a short in this area yet. Okay, it would have worked out if I targeted that low, but we made one more low first. No regrets. Okay, I'm just gonna stick on this time frame. Okay, I may look at a higher time frame, look for a candle PD array confirmation, but let's just look for one on this time frame. Okay. All right, so we trade down after this green candle. We trade down into this breaker, and we go up. So at this point, at this candle, I don't think we'll trade down there, but let's see if we get a more nicer. Okay, so this one happened very fast. Maybe there's news. So no opportunity on this time frame. Unless one were to use this 4-hour here, which is I would have to look on the lower time frames to see anything nice. Like here on the daily candle order block, and yeah, we move pretty fast. Drawn liquidity is equal highs, just overall bullish bias on Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's how I would do it. And yeah, hopefully you found that useful.